It was quite horrific, really, because you know something's wrong, but you don't want to kind of admit it. But I was scared to actually get a diagnosis. But when I got it, it was better because then you actually know you've got it and you can work on it, can't you? The people at the memory clinic were very nice. And
on the positive side, I shared the family and my wife as well. Share the information with local friends as well. On the negative side, I've got the dementia, which is aphasia. So I struggle on the speech.
It took a little while, but at first I was told that I had depression and anxiety issues, so I was put on medication for that. But over time, I felt that my condition was just getting worse, basically. The medication wasn't helping with my memory loss and get like the fact that I could go into a building and get lost trying to get out again. But then once I got my referral to the Young People with Dementia team, although it was just before COVID, everyone was so helpful.
coming in, you know, into the group. That's been really good because you're with people with the same problem.
Connect with similar people in local. The support is supporting on finance, on emotion. I prefer the face-to-face rather than Zooms. Over the last 12 months, we've got the rounders. We've got the Christmas party as well, and several walks in Static Legs as well. So yeah, that's helpful.
I think after the diagnosis, being able to be part of the Young People with Dementia team and having the facilities there, and meeting other people, the opportunity to meet other people, albeit in the beginning online, but that gave me an opportunity to see other people and how it affects us. And many of those people I'm still in contact with now. I see them at other meetings and groups, and it's like we're a community together.
If it's older people, it's a different category, really, isn't it?
Because we are very different. We both have dementia. It's not the same. I'm not like my dad was. I don't sit in an armchair all day and like just left to vegetate. I've got a mind and I need to keep active and keep it working. And those are the things that I've learned.
Process of someone becoming poorly and you don't know quite why, and not being taken seriously by various people, GPs, neurologists telling you, oh, it's just depression. And then to cope with the diagnosis that it is dementia, and then on top of that to be told, you know, you are now assigned to a memory clinic, to an older person's clinic. That would have been really hard. So to actually be assigned to a young person's team kind of meant we could still keep a little bit of our identity as a family with children rather than retirees who, you know, their needs are equally important, obviously, but they're just in a different phase of life. Well, I think what was very helpful with the young persons team was that we didn't have to kind of fight anymore. Certainly we were listened to and taken seriously and treated with dignity, and certainly for my husband, he didn't feel as if he was a malingerer. You know, it was confusing getting all these different messages from different health professionals, because he knew he wasn't depressed, there was something more going on. So in a way we kind of went through this choppy water, and the team kind of gave us an anchor. Certainly our boat was anchored, so we weren't kind of going to capsize. And the other thing the team gave us was a compass, so we were able to navigate these waters of dementia with, you know, help on benefits, with psychoeducation, with being able to meet other people with young onset of dementia and carers, and just there was a way through it, and it kind of didn't feel so isolating. And I think that's what the team gave us. And actually, also on a very practical level, one of your healthcare assistants helped me with benefits at the beginning, not just explaining how it works, the system, and how to apply and how to fill in forms, but also chasing me up, you know, have you done it yet? Have you sent it off? You need to do it now. And that was really needed, because someone taking charge, taking me in hand. I think my husband found them very helpful, the brief interventions, psychoeds, meeting other people, meeting peers, and certainly any brain illnesses, whether it's dementia, learning disabilities, serious mental health illnesses, they're stigmatised by society. You're othered. So these groups help, again, to kind of create a bit of an anchor, a place. You know, you're kind of, you're still who you are, just with the added complication of what dementia throws at you. My husband also found the peer group on Zoom very helpful, the monthly meetings. Again, being with other people like him, have a similar experience. And kind of getting used to being able to talk about the illness progression, what that might be like, what it could look like in the future. And the same for me as a carer, attending the carers groups. They've been also very valuable, because friends and family, they try and empathise, but it's outside of their experience, really. I think you've got everything in place. I mean, we've had all sorts of things, you know, social gatherings, we've had picnics in the park. My children had some psychology input, although I'll guess that is the one thing. I think there could be more for children, because 10 sessions isn't enough, really. And there are no peers to discuss this. I can see that when their friends come around, you know, they see Solomon and Yasmin having to help, and they don't know. It's outside of their experience again. So I think that would be helpful. And there were studies done on children, actually, and their experience of dementia in parents, and they in one finding they found that children had like cancer envy. They wished their parents had cancer, because at least there was still an identity there. You could have a conversation with your parent, they could still be interested in you. Whereas with dementia, sadly, that capacity goes. I guess the one thing I'd I'd like to see the arts therapies, art or drama therapy would be are missing in your team.